Welcome to the Money Healing Podcast. My name is Nadine and I will be your financial empowerment and abundance coach for the next 20 minutes or so. My mission is to teach you how to ditch scarcity and embrace your most delicious fuck yeah life. Let's dive in. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Money Healing Podcast. This is your host, Nadine Zamot. I am a holistic money coach and a somatic practitioner. So good to be with you today, and I'm just so excited for the weather. We're having beautiful weather here in Albuquerque. I am back in New Mexico. I went and visited some family and friends and attended a fabulous funeral in Melbourne, Australia. Yep, it was a fabulous funeral. I can't believe I'm saying it, but I'm so glad that I was able to be there with my friends and celebrate our friend's life together. So it's good to be back, and I came back to 22 5-star reviews on Spotify. Actually, they're ratings, but they are reviews on Apple Podcasts. So 25-star ratings and reviews on Apple Podcasts. Fuck yeah. Thank you so much, everybody, for leaving these reviews, for rating the show on Spotify. I mean, this is awesome. Like, 42 reviews and ratings altogether. That is so big for me. Thank you so much for taking the time. It really makes this show more visible and more available via, the algorithm and all that crap to people who actually need to see this. People who are tired of the old way of doing money and need to see this new holistic way of relating to our finances. So thank you so much for your support. And I also want to give a special shout out to my students inside of my program, Create Fulfilling Abundance. You ladies are rocking it. I am so proud of each and every single one of you. You're all doing awesome things. You're all manifesting awesome stuff. You are all creating creating new things and creating that fuck yeah life is probably the most important thing that we do in our lives, right? When we create a life that turns us on, that is when we elevate not just ourselves, but elevate others as well, even if it's just by inspiration. So, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. And I also put out a market research survey last week, and I've received tremendous response. And I'm going to be doing a draw on Friday to choose. Well, I won't be choosing. I'll be putting names in a hat, kind of thing, and I will be contacting 4 people from whoever submitted the survey to tell them that they want a one-on-one coaching session with me. These coaching sessions are valued at $300. So I'm very excited to be giving them away because you're helping me help you, essentially, by doing these market research surveys. So if you still want to enter the draw, you can access the market research questionnaire or survey, whatever, inside of the show notes. Okay. So these surveys are so important, especially for someone like me who creates weekly podcast episodes and daily Instagram content. So I want to, and of course, all the programs and the offerings that I put out there. I want to know that what I'm putting out there is not just adding to the noise. I need it to be valuable and helpful for you, and that is why once or twice a year I do these market research surveys or questionnaires. So your help is so important. One of the prominent themes that I saw this morning when I was going through the answers to the market research survey is around how to get unstuck from a whirlwind of healing when healing isn't working anymore. Wow. Seriously, that is such a juicy topic. And I really want to thank, well, it was a bunch of people that actually said that, right? Like not per verbatim, but that is the theme of how to get unstuck from like the healing hamster wheel. When the healing isn't working anymore, when we're just spinning our wheels in more and more healing. Thank you so much for this question. Thank you for bringing this to my attention because the struggle is real, y'all. I was stuck in this cycle for a while. And when we're on a healing journey, we can really get stuck spinning in our wheels. We expend so much energy and see little results. So, I really want to talk about this theme for a moment. And I want to share with you how you can start rebuilding your relationship with money in simple ways. So, stay tuned. We're here for some awesome things that I'll be sharing, and I'm so excited. So, I just want to first start with this very important point with about the healing, that this hamster wheel of like healing, 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 right? So it's very important to mention that healing work is not a magic bullet solution to our problems. Okay, oftentimes we when we work with old traumas, with old wounds, these traumas and wounds, they've been stuck in our bodies for decades. Sometimes even certain traumas and wounds have been stuck in our bodies even before we were born, right? So this stuff, it takes time. And the most beautiful yet aggravating thing about doing the proper healing work is that your nervous system sets the pace. Not you, not your high achieving people pleasing tendencies, not your coach's agenda. It's your nervous system. This also means that things will sometimes go at a snail's pace, right? The other thing when it comes to doing the healing work, especially when it comes to money and finances, is that we expect to suddenly feel, oh my God, amazing about money. So we expect to go from hating it, loathing it, despising it, avoiding it like the plague to woo, I have a delicious flowy feeling about it. This is not gonna happen, love. I'm sorry, okay? Before we go into the amazing feelings and the abundant feelings about money, we need to be realistic, right? We need to be realistic. Come down here, come to the ground, all right? And we want to bring in more neutrality when it comes to our relationship with money. So before that, woo feeling, we need to feel a little bit more neutral because we can't go from I hate it, I loathe it, I want to avoid it to like, oh my God, I love it, it's amazing, it's my best friend. We need to go into the neutral ground first. Okay. We need to start looking at it and at how we relate to it from a neutral stance. It is only from a place of neutrality will we be able to access our logical thinking brain and make more empowered financial decisions. Okay. So, we want to bring in more neutrality when it comes to our relationship with money. I'm going to tell you how to do it in this podcast episode. And I want to tell you something else before I do. All the healing work, the nervous system rewiring, the inner child healing, the tapping, the whatever, psychedelics, the reparenting, all the healing work will, yes, it will help you create a better relationship or even befriend your past. It will help you better understand yourself and your patterns and your tendencies. And these things are so, so important. But when it comes to money, they are not enough. Okay. So, to those of you who are spinning in your wheels, doing all the healing, the tapping, the somatic work, you are right, my love. It is not enough. To have financial wellness and flow, we need to build our sense of financial confidence. And financial confidence only comes with making moves and taking action. Okay. Yes, there might be a little bit of like financial education sprinkled in there. But if you are someone that has been doing all the healing work, you haven't seen any financial progress, you need to make some moves. Okay. Because it's only through action will you build confidence. I have an amazing one on one client who is actually a healer herself. She is the queen of subconscious rewiring. She has a massive community and a massive Instagram following. But she came to me, I think, the middle of last year, and she was like this 6 year old when it came to her finances. And with my guidance and support, she gained the confidence to make some big girl money moves. And you should see her now. She is kicking ass and she didn't even need to use up her full coaching package with me. I mean, her sessions are valid still, but I'm just saying she did all that without even using up her full coaching package. And that's because she gained that confidence, and that little girl inside of her that felt like everything finance related is overwhelming. She started to trust that, yeah, actually, I'm not 6 year old anymore. I'm in my 30s and I am capable. Okay. So that is what we need. Okay. Taking action, making moves is very, very, very important. So now, how do we bring in more neutrality when it comes to our relationship with money? So, first of all, I would like to say that you need to become more aware of how you relate to money. So, what I often see is that we are either anxiously attached to money or avoiding it completely. Okay? Or somewhere in between. So, are you someone that holds on to money and you're scared shitless that it's going to run out and never come back again? Or do you avoid it altogether? So, it's very important for you to become aware of your tendencies and how you relate to money. No shame, no blame. I'm not pointing fingers here. Know that regardless of your stance, whether you are anxiously attached to it or avoidantly attached to it, or somewhere in between, that is not a character trait. That is a survival coping mechanism. At some point in your life, being really attached to money has served you. At some point in your life, avoiding looking at money has served you, probably protected you from pain, protected you from stress or from anxiety. Okay? So they're both coping mechanisms. But right now, since you're on this podcast episode with me and you're here and you want to make money moves, we need to start, just becoming neutral with money and understanding how we relate to it. Just look at your tendencies and just state it as a matter of fact to yourself. Yes, I relate to money very anxiously. I am very attached to it. I'm maybe even tyrannical with it. Okay, that was me. That was me years and years ago. That was totally me. I made a fuckload of money. Well, it wasn't a fuckload. It was a lot for a single person at the time. But I lived like I was broke. I wasn't broke, but my body thought I was broke. Who relates? I bet you do, because it's very, very common. The other one is you can just very matter of fact say, I avoid my finances. I haven't, for example, done my taxes in years, or I never look at my bank account, or I don't know what's being charged to my account, to my credit card. Whatever it is, just stating it as a matter of fact. The other thing that we can start doing to bring in more neutrality to our relationship with money is bringing humor into your relationship with money. Humor and lightness are very, very healing. Okay. So, this is how you're going to bring humor into it. If money were a prospective romantic or intimate partner, how would your current relationship with it translate into a human to human relationship? Are you holding on to them too strongly, or are you avoiding them and just bitch and moan about how they don't love you back, or how they don't want you? So that is a way for you to start looking at your relationship with money with a little bit of humor, a touch of lightness, and go like, if my relationship with money is a human to human relationship, what would that look like? Okay. The third thing you can do to bring in more neutrality is to become aware of how your nervous system responds to money. So, I'm going to be going into that in future episodes, but here are some examples. Like, if your nervous system responds to money in a fight response, it could look like you are restricting your spending until you feel like you've suffered enough, and then you allow yourself to spend. So that is like a fight response. So you're really restrictive, really anxious, really holding on to it with your teeth and nails. And then you only allow yourself to spend when you feel like you're worthy enough or if you've suffered enough, right? So that is an example of you relating to money from a fight response. And a flight response, it can look like delaying looking at your bank statements or your bank account when you know that maybe you overspent this month, okay? Or maybe when you know that you got to pay something you don't want to pay for, okay? So that is a flight response, for example. A fawn response when it comes to money is perhaps giving gifts to people who don't really care that much or don't even deserve it. To be honest, some people around us are shitty. They don't remember our birthdays. They don't really listen to us. They interrupt us. They're, energy vampires or emotional vampires. And sometimes what we do, because we want to belong and to be loved and to be accepted because we're humans, what we end up doing is we overgive. We overgive them gifts. We maybe pay for things just because we feel guilty for not liking them, for example. And we are really, really desperate to have people around us. And I've been guilty of that, right? Like I've been guilty to phoning to friends, giving things and giving my time even, because when we give our time, that means we have less time for ourselves. When we have less time for ourselves, that means sometimes we resort to buying things for convenience, right? When our nervous system responds to money in a freeze or shutdown, that could look like feeling completely overwhelmed when it comes to money, feeling completely helpless, and having this belief that you are forever going to be in debt, for example, or forever going to be broke, or that you have money, but it's going to run out. Like it's something that's insurmountable, right? So these are some examples of how your nervous system responds to it. So how does knowing that bring in more neutrality? Well, it's because your nervous system is subconscious, okay? What your nervous system does is actually below your consciousness. And it responds to things as, it responds in a threat response, is it responds in a threat response when it goes through your archives and it decides that this is not good, this is scary, so we need to protect you because this is a threat or this is a danger to her life, for example. So it's very subjective. It goes through your past data, your past archives, and that is how it makes decisions. And how does it help to know? Well, knowing that it's subconscious and it's not you, right? It's just your nervous system. It is so, so liberating to know that your patterns with money are not you. That is just how your nervous system is wired, which means it can be rewired, right? So, becoming aware of how your nervous system responds to it is very, very important. And I will be going into that as well. I talk about this a lot inside of my programs in Create Fulfilling Abundance. And oh my God, I didn't want to talk about this, but I think there's a new program in the pipelines. I think it's going to come out. No, I'm sure it's going to come out in June. It's going to be a short program, maybe like maybe 4 to 6 weeks or something. So I'm very excited about it. I'm not going to talk more about it in here. I might make an announcement next week on the podcast and on Instagram, and there will be an early bird special pricing. So keep your eyes and ears peeled, y'all. It's going to be fabulous. I'm really excited about it. Like my toes are curling. That's how excited I am. So we will be talking about that either in the new program or if you want to join Create Fulfilling Abundance. That is like my what do you call it? The mothership. That is my main offering. And it is so comprehensive when it comes to creating a more empowered relationship with money. So the fourth thing you can do to bring more neutrality into your relationship with money is creating space around your reactions and your beliefs. Know that your reactions, your emotions, and your beliefs around money are just a product of your past experiences. So it kind of goes hand in hand with knowing how your nervous system responds to money. Just know that this is something, it's not a character flaw. And contrary to oh my God, contrary to what's out there on the internet, grr, it makes me so angry. It makes my blood boil when I think about this. The amount of money that you make, create, whatever it is has nothing to do with your self-worth. Okay, which brings me to point number 4. Know that you are not more worthy when you have heaps of money. Know that you're not less worthy when you have less money. The thing is with money is that it ebbs and it flows. That's just the way it is. Whether you're an entrepreneur, whether you're a 9 to 5er, whatever it is that you do, money ebbs and flows. Full stop. It has nothing to do with your self-worth. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. That is just the way it is. Okay? We give it meaning. When we give something meaning, then our emotions come up, and then our emotions become something that they become like obstacles, right? So just believe me. Just believe me. So that is point number 5, I believe. And point number 6 is that I just want to tell you that maybe sometimes your financial situation is a reflection of your relationship with your self-trust. Okay, so it's not your self worth, it's your self trust. That is why I am going to tell you over and over again in this episode to make moves. Okay, the only way out of all this is to actually make moves, even if that means you're making mistakes. Okay? So all the healing tools that you have are great, but you need to use them, and they will become more and more useful in a conducive forward motion momentum way is when you use them as you move forward in life. And yes, I know that some of you might be stuck in a functional freeze or in freeze mode when it comes to money, and that's okay. I've been there. But also for you, if you're in freeze mode when it comes to money, if you feel like money is overwhelming, insurmountable, can't do anything with it, that's okay. Move, but move slower. Just know where your nervous system is at and move accordingly. I got to be honest with you, sometimes I wake up on the wrong side of the bed. I wake up feeling like shit. I wake up feeling like all my scarcity crap is back. Like I did nothing in my healing journey, you know, and my nervous system is completely in freeze mode. And these are the days where I know that shaming or pushing myself will just backfire on me. So I would literally just congratulate myself for getting out of bed. So that is the movement I'm talking about. So if you are in functional freeze when it comes to your finances, movement might not look like making financial moves. It might look like moving your body very, very gently and very, very slowly. And not shaming yourself for going at a different pace, because when we take a holistic look at your finances, y'all, we need to start looking at our finances holistically. Is so important to put things in context, because shame and guilt and anxiety is really keeping us from moving forward. Okay, when we put things in context, when you have gone through a horrendous childhood, or maybe you've gone through a really bad divorce or a bad breakup, and you can't get out of bed, you cannot shame yourself for where you're at. Okay, you're fried, you're tired, you're burnt out. So you need to put things in context and not shame yourself. But if you are, whenever you're ready to move, making small moves is where it's at. Okay, so when I wake up feeling like crap, when my nervous system is in freeze mode, I actually do things that make me feel good. Like instead of my morning routine, I would grab my phone and speak to a friend, or maybe I'll play music. It's usually Wu-Tang. Or I do yin yoga instead of pushing myself to work out or like shake myself out of the shit. No, 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 no. When I'm in freeze mode, I go slow, and so should you. Okay, I don't should a lot, but with this, please don't fry your nervous system. I don't think you can, but you get what I mean. Okay, so listen to what your body wants from you. If you are in a functional freeze when it comes to finances, go slow. Um, to wrap up, I want to say thank you again for being here. And to those of you who completed the market research survey, you're so freaking awesome. Thank you so much. And if you still want to complete it, it's not too late. The link is in the show notes. You will be entering a draw to win a free money coaching session with me. I will be emailing you sometime over the weekend. So the link is in the show notes. And I'm just gonna put it out there since I mentioned it. Starting in June, I will be offering a brand new program that is focused on creating comfort, confidence, and creativity with money. The name of the program and further details will be announced soon. I will be offering first dibs and early bird discounts to people that, to my listeners here. So you're special to say thank you. I will be talking about that probably next week. So it's going to be so juicy and I'm very excited about it. And my aim is to make it super affordable and offering it at a time that suits several time zones, as I know that many of you are listening in from Europe, from the UK, and all over the world. So stay tuned for that. There might also be a free online community in the pipelines. There's a lot of changes, y'all. It's a lot of changes. I am really vibing with the energy of spring, and today is the new moon in Taurus. So, fuck yeah. Alrighty, everyone. Thank you so much for being here. I will love you and leave you. I'll see you next week. Bye for now.